Ricky, Manchester United 2, Lask 1. But before we dive into the game, we've got to talk about what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm. It wasn't that Jadon Sancho has signed for the club, but it is that Alexis Sanchez has officially left the club. They wish him all the best. He's proved he's a great player, la-di-da-di-da. But he's officially gone. We've freed up a lot of wages there. He's gone on a free, but like we said, we've basically cleared the wages off of the wage bill, and we can get that money back in the kitty. How big is that for you?
I think it's great news. I've watched a few of the Inter Milan games recently, and I'll be honest with you, it's surprised me how well he's played. But I don't. Sometimes I can't understand football myself. Flex, I mean, brilliant, and he's looked terrible for a bit, and suddenly he looks good again. But I'm pleased for him. You know what I mean? I don't hold anything against the guy. You know, I hope it goes well for him there. And we needed his wage bill off. The wages were unbelievable. So we needed to keep that money. It's a hell of a lot of money, isn't it, going out every week or however often they pay him. So it can only be good news, but it's good news for him as well. I'm sure it is.
Exactly. Why do you think it didn't work, Rick?
I don't know, mate. It's like I say, it's a funny old game. Sometimes it's hard to understand. There's no way. I mean, people say some strange things, Flex. They talk about players not trying. Players don't not try. You know what I mean? They do try. And just sometimes, no matter how hard you try, as we saw tonight, it just doesn't work for you. You know, I used to play amateur football myself, and some days the harder you try, the worse it seems to get. You can't finger on them occasions, but it does happen.
How much of it was down to the club in terms of, did we really need Sanchez at the time? Did we just go for it because we wanted to stop City? And
signing him at the time that we signed him was an absolute disaster. I said
he ruined Martial straight away, didn't he?
I said it there, and then Martial has always been a top player for me. Jose didn't. I don't know what it was with Jose, but he had something against him. I shouldn't really use the word personal, but I don't think.
I agree, Ricky. I think it was personal.
Yeah, if Jose Mourinho's done what he's done in the game, surely you can see in a footballer what I can see in a footballer. If I'd have been managing Man United when he was managing Man United, Marshall would have been playing 90 minutes every week. And not only did he not pick him every week, but when he picked him, he tend to drag him off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't fancy him at all,
didn't fancy him one little bit, and I don't understand it. The man is an absolute class act. He's an absolute class act, and I just don't get it. He was putting whatever he thought. I mean, when he signed Sanchez, Martial was playing on the left, and it was obvious.
And he was playing really well. He was playing really well at the time.
He was playing great. He was scoring goals. It was obvious Sanchez came in, and Spurs were a better team at the time than they are right now, or have been recently. And we had Spurs away. Sanchez made his debut against Spurs away. And Martial had been. We had Lukaku at the time.
I remember that. Yeah.
And Martial had been playing on the left, and Sanchez comes in and wants to play on the left, so he plays on the left. Martial gets switched to the right.
It was awful.
Have such a great game, although I don't know if you remember it. He made a chance for himself that night and had a really fair shot at the near post.
I do remember that. I think
we got beat 3-0 on the night. We got battered anyway.
Yeah, we did.
But he was still the only bright spark, Martial. To the right, do you know what I mean? And because that didn't go, it's like stepping stones. You know, he got shifted from his favourite position. It didn't go great for the team, and I'm pretty sure the next game he got dropped. You know what I mean?
I think that feeds into the whole Sanchez thing. He just literally, it felt like, I don't want to be horrible, but at one stage it felt like he was almost like the ugly duckling, kind of just by himself, like wasn't really in the team. It wasn't going right for him. Then the injuries came. Then he would come. All he would do is cut in from the left, look for that dink over the top every single time, and it just didn't work. So he's moved on. There
was one or two good moments. There
was. I remember Huddersfield.
He had an important and in the final in the comeback at the Etihad when we won 3-2.
Yes,
he got the goal in the semi-final to get
good header.
He also got the last-minute winner against Newcastle after we'd been 2-0. There was
a goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Yeah. There's a few good points, but overall, it was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, it was. Talking of a little bit of a disaster, but we won the game tonight. Not many good performances all over the pitch. Ollie rings in the changes, and like you say, when there's no Martial, when there's no Rashford, when there's no Greenwood or whoever, there's no Bruno, Pogba, Matic not in there today. It's always evident in the way we play when we make those changes. Did you see that today?
I've already seen loads of people on Twitter criticising the players that they don't like. It's one of them games where any player who you don't like, you can say he was terrible, and anybody who you do like, you can make excuses for him. Do you know what I mean? It was just a shambles. It was just a shambles. Unless you're Anthony Marshall, you couldn't play well. He comes on for 8 minutes. And by the way, look at the interlinking between him and Mata for the second.
Yeah. Do you know what, Rick? I'm going to say this. I'll say this, right? Because Mark told me, right? I said, I'm not going to go on there and put words into Ricky's mouth because it's my job to ask questions. He says, tell him Mark said it. And at the time, this was at half time. He goes, even if he goes on to score a hat-trick, he goes, ask him why Mata was so rubbish in the first half. He didn't have the legs and he was making all these bad choices. In the end, he goes on and gets 2 assists, to be fair to him. And to be fair, this point of when you say when Mata does play, he usually plays with the players who aren't very good. But when he links up,
it's the same excuse for all of them, but it is true, yeah. It is true. Sorry, mate. Was you going to say something else?
Yeah, well, that's basically what I was saying. I mean, what did you make of Mata today? He was receiving a lot of stick. I thought he was really bad in the first half. I mean, just the decision making and the final ball from him. It just wasn't there.
A lot of things went wrong for him in the first half, but I honestly wouldn't say he was much worse than anyone else. I knew that's what I'm saying to you. I knew that was going to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone played poorly.
I don't think anybody else played any better.
Apart from, I think Lingard had a decent game. I was surprised to see him get taken off.
I'm not sure about that.
You didn't think he had a decent game?
By Lingard standard, he did, but Juan Mata knocked him into a cot's hat. You know what I mean? Juan Mata's miles better than Lingard even tonight. I'll have another look at it tomorrow.
I bet you will have another look at it.
He's not just the pass to Marshall for the goal. He gives it Marshall, gets it back off Marshall, gives it him again. It's absolute class. His ball over the top for Lingard's goal. He put Igalo in. He's almost got an hat-trick of assists. Igalo should have scored when he scuffed it a little bit. The keeper saved it to his left. Dead late on in the game, he ended up being a yard offside, but he put Marshall in when Marshall should have scored.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. To be fair, in the end,
Johan Cruyff.
It was weird because honestly, look, you know me, I like to look at things quite measured, and like you said, the first half not a lot. He was playing awful. I was like, bloody hell, Matt having one. I agree. Ozil Mensah was having one in the first 20 minutes. McTominay, I thought was awful all game.
All the way. Williams was terrible.
So you're right. It was just a bad game for all.
Oh, I thought Chung did okay, by the way.
At left back, I mean,
sure. Did he come on at left back? Yeah.
Surely, I mean, going forward, we can't see that too much more. But given the opposition and the scoreline is just a way to get him in. But you know, going forward against Copenhagen Monday night, big game. Are you expecting us to go and chase down the Europa League Cup, get to the final, play the strongest 11 straight away, or
100% he's going to go for it? He's played such a much stronger team tonight than I expected him to. I wasn't sure about the rules about your squad, but I've been reading. I think so long as the players are under 21, he could have played who he wanted if they're under 21.
Yeah, and they're registered, and they're in the 30-man squad. So
yeah. So I think he could have played a weaker side tonight. So for him to give all them lads a run tonight, who were all not just fringe players, some of them, like obviously Bailey's playing a lot, Williams is playing a lot, Fosu
Maguire still never gets a rest.
Maguire never gets a rest, and all the midfield players and the forwards are all players who were supposedly knocking on the door for the game, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's a really strong team. I think he's going to go for it big time, mate. I won't be surprised if you see the strongest possible team against Copenhagen.
Would you want to see that? Did you want to see him do that, or are you worried about next season coming so quickly and those players not
I want us to win it. I want us to win it 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I also read today that we could possibly be. Could we possibly be as low as pot C when the Champions League draw comes out? Now, I don't know if this is true. I read it somewhere.
But I'm not sure. I mean, maybe we've been in it consistently and our rankings are dropping down.
Somebody said if we win this, we're in pot A. Is that true? Do you know? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I need to research that. I'm not sure. There was one last thing I was going to ask you. Oh, that was it. A whole circus going on around the Sancho deal and, loads of different conflicting reports. What do you actually think of Sancho? I've never actually asked you. I mean, I remember when Bruno was coming, you're the guy who sort of says, Flex, I haven't really watched much of him. I hear a lot. I'll wait till he comes and I'll make my assessment, etc., etc. I know that's what you did with Bruno. But Sancho, do you have any different views?
Well, obviously, when the Bundesliga came back, there was nothing else to watch, was there? So I watched a couple of games and I was proper impressed by him. Yeah, he looks a proper player.
So you do like Sancho then, yeah?
I do like him straight away. I do like him. Whether he's worth 100 million quid or not, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I was watching a lad. At the game with a lad tonight. Proper red, and goes to loads and loads of games. And 99% of United fans that argue against him. He said to me, that Willian's available for nothing. To risk £100 million on a 20-year-old player, he said, I'd sooner get him for nothing. He's a top player. We already know he can do it in the Premier League.
Willian, but for that,
it's just a point of view from somebody else.
Right, that's just what he said.
It's just a point of view, and he is a decent right winger, and 100 million quid. You know what I mean? But
120.
Imagine.
Exactly.
Imagine he does flop. I mean, I don't think he will. He looks a right player from what
I don't think he will. But it can always happen. Every gamble, every money you spend is always a gamble.
Well, like you said, it hasn't happened yet, has it?
Exactly. Still hasn't happened. But you would welcome the signing, yeah?
I would. Forgetting the money side of it, from what I've seen of him, I'd welcome him, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Who was your man of the match today, Rick, before you go?
It's got to be Juan Mata, hasn't it?
2 assists.
2 assists.
Okay, nice one, Rick. I will catch you on Monday night.